What's going on, guys? It is Fox219 here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2019 career mode for you guys today here on the channel. Today we're here for the Austrian Grand Prix, a track that I really love driving around, so obviously I'm going to be trying to aim for a positive result today. But if you guys haven't seen any of the other previous episodes, be sure to go check those ones out before you come ahead and come to this one. And obviously if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop it a like and then subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed already. But as you can see, we're making some great development upgrades, and we actually got upgrades on the car this time around. I know, absolute shock. But as you can see, in terms of the engine department, we're just the fourth fastest team. Basically just been focusing on raw engine power. In the chassis, the ultimate chassis upgrade finally got onto the car, so we've now got the second best chassis, and the aero department we're also the fourth best car. So we're doing great for the upgrade side of things. Just obviously need to keep that up now for the foreseeable future. But first of all, then we're going to move on into the Q1 and see how we get along. Second to last corner, a little bit wide. And to the last corner though, nail the apex, and as you come across the line then, to try and beat that 103.3, I believe we set a 103.6. Which put us into third place for Q1. So comfortably through into Q2, and I only needed to go out and do one run, which is great. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm starting to be able to do a lot more now, is just go out for one run rather than do multiple runs. But as you can see there, Bottas fastest ahead of Leclerc. Vettel though only half second off, and he was on medium tyres. So that's something to think about. It's Gasly there on the cusp of being knocked out in Q1. That'd be a bit embarrassing for Red Bull. In towards Q2 then, again, the second to last corner, got way too early on the turn-in, and then I missed the apex on the last corner. Pretty scruffy final sector there, and we've come across the line. It's a 103.6, which wasn't quite the best lap that I've done so far. I believe I set a 103.2, something like that, in the last session. So it wasn't a good qualifying. I messed up at the final sector there. Both Red Bulls got knocked out though in Q2, as did my teammate Lando Norris, and Red Bull especially are starting to plateau a lot down the order in this career mode. They're really starting to drop off a bit. But for us though, we're doing a great job. In towards Q3 there we go, and first of all, the first lap was terrible because we went horribly wide again in the final two corners. Really didn't make up for the point where I am quick through there. The track felt a bit slower though. We did a 103.9 as my first attempt there. And obviously we were much faster in other portions of the track now, but we go purple to the middle sector here on our final lap now. This is qualifying's done and dusted now, so Hamilton sets the new benchmark of a 103.6. That's what we've got to try and beat here, as we now go in towards the second to last corner. Much better through there. Final corner now. That's a little bit too much in terms of that sausage curve there, but we're going to come towards the start-finish line. Can we beat what Lewis Hamilton did? I don't know. No, we didn't. Wow, we only got P5 in the end. Wow, okay. I believe we beat Hamilton's time, but oh wow, Bottas just goes and sets a 103.1. Charles Leclerc with a 103.1. Vettel in there as well. Sergio Perez with a great qualifying there. We did beat Hamilton's lap time, so for the split second I was on provisional pole until everybody else just came and pulled down my trousers and beat my lap time. So yeah, that's not very fun, but P5 on the grid though, still a really good starting position. However, I do have to take a gearbox penalty for this race. The gearbox is horribly worn, and I do need to get a new one in, and I think I'm going to change it now. So yeah, bit of a shame, but it's on 72%. I didn't want to take the risk, so I need a fresh gearbox. Yeah, it's only done 2 races and it's on 72%. I'm going to have to work on that.
What a beautiful backdrop to a motor race. We're here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and they've watched over some cracking races throughout the history of this Grand Prix. Controversy, of course, think back to 2002, but also great joy. Do you remember Niki Lauda's historic home victory in 1984? The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Thomas. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Thomas and Hamilton, Sainz, Butler, Magnussen and Lance Stroll, Norris, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Grosjean. Weber, Hülkenberg, George Russell and Alexander Albon. Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, well, yeah, going on to the grid then for this Austrian Grand Prix. The game is very, very accurate. We took a 5-place grid penalty for a gearbox. It didn't work. We stay P5, so yeah, that's something to try and take into notice. But anyway, then we're sitting on the grid now here for the start of this Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights here, and it is lights out. There we go here to start the Austrian Grand Prix. Good start actually from the entirety of the pack there as we now go in towards the first corner here. We go down the inside now of Sergio Perez, I think it is, was in the Renault, yeah. And also Vettel got compromised on the outside line actually in towards there. So we've got a great run on both of those two now. They're going to be slipstreaming me going in towards this hairpin corner now. And as we go towards the inside line here, Charles Leclerc breaks very late actually in towards there. And that's a very simple overtake on the Ferrari driver there. So already up into second place, and of course I have set this car up for just raw straight line speed, and you've seen on the R&D upgrade chart that we've literally just been focusing on engine power. So really we have got some great top end speed, and this is why obviously we should be able to keep up with these guys on track now. But as we go through in towards the middle sector then, this was the sector that was definitely my weakest. This is where the AIs were definitely strong. I'm fast in the first and final sector. The AIs then catch that back up in the middle sector. So as long as I can stay with these guys in sector 2, I should then have a great run of things in the rest of the lap then. As we go towards the sector last corner now, Bottas leads the Grand Prix ahead of myself around the final corner, and that is the first lap done. We're up into second place then. So Bottas leads the race ahead of myself, then Charles Leclerc, who's on medium tyres. So he's going to be a bit of a threat later on. But as we go towards lap 3 of the Grand Prix now, Bottas is really flying in this Grand Prix, but I'm just about managing to stick with Valtteri in this race now. As we go in towards turn 1 for the fourth time in this Grand Prix, back end's a little bit shaky there on the exit, but we're very much keeping in close proximities with the Mercedes driver, just following him along now. We're using a lot of our engine mix actually and ERS because I actually kind of want to pass him. Normally in some stages I would potentially just sit back for a little bit, but we get a great run on the exit of that hairpin, and it doesn't work on that occasion. But as you can see now, with the DRS opening here, we go over towards the inside line here on Bottas, go down the inside and towards the hairpin, and we do make the move stick. I thought we moved on to a different clip, but never mind, it doesn't matter. We're up into the lead now of the Austrian Grand Prix. Great overtake there, and now we're in front of Bottas, and it's time to see if we can try and pull away from the Mercedes man himself, or if he's going to be able to stick with us. That we'll have to find out. But as we go through in towards this middle sector where the AIs are actually their fastest, you can see now Bottas gets a fantastic exit off the that right-hander, and he goes towards the outside line, towards the sector last corner. We're going to have to defend that now. Take a very tight line in towards the sector last corner, and then drop it down into the last corner. But Bottas still very close here for a run at us on DRS here. Of course, there's 3 DRS zones, which is going to be so tough to defend here. Bottas goes for it down the inside, retakes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, but now we get a fabulous run through turn 1, taking that outside line, open up the DRS for our attack now. So we're literally just swapping DRS attacks here as we fly up the hill now in towards turn 3, and we cover the outside line. Bottas has the inside line, but we can just swoop around, get a clean exit on traction, and that is us up now into the lead of the Grand Prix once again. Bottas then dropping into behind onto lap 5 to start lap 6 of the Grand Prix now. One of the Red Bulls there, Pierre Gasly, is out of the Austrian Grand Prix, so bad race for him at Red Bull's home Grand Prix. But for us though, our focus is still to defend against Bottas. Vettel still 3 seconds back, not really pressing that much on us now. So we've got Bottas here with the DRS now going towards the outside line, towards turn 3. We're going to cover the inside line this time around. And as we go towards there, you can just see that Bottas, a little bit of contact there between myself and Valtteri, and that basically just sort of gave me the indication that I'm going to shove him out wide because he sort of whacked my car a little bit. So yeah, don't do that, Valtteri, it won't work. But you can see here again that Mercedes gets such a fabulous run off the exit of that middle sector to lead us into the final 2 corners. And for now, we just about stay in front, but Bottas there in very good range to go back at us again on the start-finish straight, and Vettel is catching us too now. But Bottas here goes for the inside line again, and we're going to do the same trick as we did last time when Bottas overtook us. Make sure that we set ourselves up for a great run through turn 1, and we've done exactly that. Now we've got to get that run on Bottas, who goes defensive to the inside line, so we're going to have to go to the outside line for turn 3 and try and make this one stick. Brake late towards the hairpin now. Bottas holds it on the inside, but he's not got as much as his car as he did the last time around, and it's a very easy run. You can just see, look at that on traction, how better we are, how much better should we say, than Valtteri on that specific portion of the racetrack there. So we go to lap 7 to start lap 8 now. The fight between myself and Valtteri is just going to keep carrying on here as we now go across the line. Let's see what the gap is between myself and Valtteri. 4 tenths per second between ourselves and Vettel. 2.9 seconds. He's slowly but surely creeping up to the back of us, is Sebastian, taking his time with it, but he's certainly getting close now as we go up the hill now towards turn 3. Bottas here with a great run now as we go up towards this corner. Will Valtteri go for it? He's got the run on us, but we're going to defend the inside line, but we're a little bit deep actually in towards the corner, and it doesn't quite give us the exit that we needed, but it is just enough. The AIs, somehow, they're really slow out of that hairpin, and I'm not sure why, but they're just really slow at the hairpin, and then come towards here where I'm defending against Bottas now, the AIs are untouchable. I cannot beat them on traction through that area, so yeah, it's really weird, but it is what it is, so we'll roll on with it. But Bottas now here with the DRS on the pit straight, and you know what we're going to do. We're going to set ourselves up once again in towards turn 1, and we do just that. It's actually a much difficult run that time because I got so much speed off the exit of 1 that I nearly went into the back of Bottas there. Now we're going to go to the outside line again on Valtteri Bottas, and it's kind of a carbon copy of what we've been doing, really. This time Bottas sort of got a little bit of his car in there, but it's enough that we can just sort of hang around with that one. And we stay in front of Valtteri here on lap 9 of the Grand Prix. And now on to lap 9 to start lap 10 of this Grand Prix. Bottas with the DRS this time. I'll sort of go to the middle of the track a little bit, and this time going to defend the inside line, and I wanted to sort of see, could I potentially, you know, shove Bottas wide on the exit of 1 and then get that run up towards turn 2 and 3 in a clean way? It didn't actually work. So Bottas now has got a clean run on us up towards turn 3, goes towards the outside line for turn 3. We're going to have the inside line for that corner, but we go a little bit wide on that exit, and Bottas is still going to be there with the DRS for the second run now, down towards turn 4. So this time, we'll have to do a bit more defending here as he goes to the outside this time around. We now have to go towards the inside line to defend, but we do just that. Bottas tries to set up a switchback line, doesn't work in his favour though as we go through, and we defend against Valtteri, going in towards the middle sector, and Bottas goes for a huge lunge, and he goes for it, and he literally hits the side pod of my car there. Bottas went absolutely crazy then on the lunge in towards that middle sector then. Look at this here. He just comes out of absolutely nowhere. I had absolutely no idea that Bottas was going to dive it down the inside of a high-speed corner. Look at this. He just come out of nowhere, just tries to dive bomb it down the inside. It's such a difficult corner. It's not an overtaking spot, that one, unless you're doing dry tyres, wet track. And for Bottas, well, that didn't really do him any favours because as he hit me then, he obviously lost a little bit of time, and that just allowed Vettel to slowly but surely chip away at Bottas' lead. And of course, it actually then eventually Seb got into DRS range of Bottas, and now the two of them are scrapping hard here. And you can see here that we're trying to get a nice camera angle of these two fighting, but the game doesn't want to give me one. But yeah, Bottas stays in front of Vettel that time around. You can see we're not that far in front. We're only just about out of DRS range of Sebastian and Bottas here, so we're okay for now. But obviously, if one of them gets a very good run with DRS and slipstream, it might just be that we're in a bit of trouble here as we go down the straight once again. This time Vettel's got a nice camera angle that we can use. He's got DRS here down towards turn 4, but Bottas has got some great straight line speed considering that he's got no DRS, and he barges Sebastian Vettel slightly and just about maintains position. So on to lap 14 though to start to start lap 15 or something like that. I don't know where I'm going with this. We're going to come in for our stop nonetheless though. Great run through there. You know, we're just going to take that type of line. And we're going to come in for, I believe it's the medium compound tyres. I think they can go to, yeah, they should be able to go to the end of the race. We've done 14 and 15 laps on these soft tyres, and all they've got to do is 20 laps on the mediums, and obviously they're more durable tyres, so we should be able to get to the end on a set of medium tyres. And good stop from the boys, gets us back out again, and obviously we've now got the likes of Bottas and Seb right behind us, and we need to try and pull away from them now. Hamilton stays out for another lap, so we're going to get an undercut on him. He's about 2-3 seconds back from myself from the top 3 here, and obviously we've got the likes of Lucas Weber now just in front here, but now we need to try and make a little bit of an inroad into these guys and try and take advantage of our fresh tyres before the AI start to get back at us. You can see Bottas there 1.9 seconds behind, so sorry, 1.5 seconds behind, so he did gain about half a second from the pit stop phase there as we got flustered by Lucas Weber coming into the pits. We had to take offensive action there, and we got a warning for track extension. So I think that was my first warning of the race, or it might have been my second, I'm not really sure. But on that occasion, that was definitely extending, but on that occasion, I didn't exactly go extremely far off the racetrack there. This was actually my attempt for fastest lap, and we set a 106.3, which I thought would be enough for fastest lap as we go on to lap 26, but my race was quite quiet. For these guys, though, behind, not so much. Now, Bottas is once again under some pressure from Vettel now. That's me going towards turn 1 there. Vettel now goes tight to the inside line in towards the first corner, and on this occasion, Bottas was on the engineer came on the radio and said that Bottas has got some form of mechanical issue. So, for Valtteri, he's now in another bit of world of pain. But obviously, with the DRS keeping him intact with everything, it's fine for Valtteri. He can stay with the likes of Seb and Hamilton only whilst he's in front, and obviously only whilst he's got DRS active. If he doesn't have any of these active, then unfortunately for Valtteri, it's not going to be enough. As you go down in towards the inside now here, Vettel does maintain the position, and Bottas there, unfortunately, cannot stay in front. And eventually now, Lewis Hamilton here is going to have a run on Valtteri Bottas, and he is going to do just that there, and he goes down the inside. So Bottas there, unfortunately, just lost some time, and yeah, he's going to be starting to fall further back down the order. For Hamilton, though, he's actually flying in this middle stage of the race. We haven't seen Hamilton all race long, but all of a sudden, on this second stint, he's really come alive here. And as he goes down the inside here on Vettel and towards turn 1, Seb does a great job to defend that. Now Lewis Hamilton's going to have to run here with the DRS up towards turn 3, and it's going to be a great charge for him. You can see Charles Leclerc actually is also coming alive because he's somehow come out of nowhere, but Hamilton now gets through past the Ferrari there of Sebastian Vettel, and he can set his sights now on myself. But unfortunately, it's not really going to be enough. On to lap 36 of the Grand Prix now. Hamilton there, you can see, is 3 seconds behind. So he had been closing the gap between myself and him, but the gap was like 6 or 7 seconds because Bottas had an issue and was able to stay out for so much longer. But we got everything right today. We got the setup spot on for this Grand Prix. We had the straight line speed, and we just had the pace. And it's the race win at the Austrian Grand Prix.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for McLaren today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium.
So there we have it then, that is it for this Grand Prix, and as you can see, Lando manages to pick up P8, Gasly with an awful DNF, and Verstappen only got P9 in that race. But yeah, really solid race. Hamilton actually got the fastest lap on the last lap as well, so he stole the fastest lap point. The gap in the championship now is 16 points between myself and I think it's Lewis, is it? Has he gone to second? Yeah, he has. Lewis has now taken the lead of the championship, and Mercedes just miles clear at this point in the race. But yeah, we got everything right in that Grand Prix.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. How do you think Devon will react to having not been able to finish today's race?
He'll be whining and complaining like a bitch.
You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win?
It was actually a really tough race, and only until Bottas was out of DRS could I feel comfortable.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
I gained 4 places, and 3 of those I gained on 1 lap.
Would you say that your rival is still on your level?
Absolutely not, no.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So yeah, just kind of clarifying on that. So we definitely had the pace. Setup-wise, we were really strong. I'm always strong around Austria anyway, and the AIs are slightly weaker. But for next episode as well, I am going to be making a change with regards to the assists. So obviously, in terms of the assists that I have at the moment, I have pit assist on because I can't be bothered with all the pit stuff. I've always had it off. And then I have low braking assist. They're the only 2 things that I run with. For next episode and for the rest of my career modes, I'm turning off any form of braking assist. I'm leaving the pit assist on because at the end of the day, like I said, when I go into the pits, I know it's like a bit cheesy because you blast into the pits and whatever, and then you obviously, you know, change tires, etc. But for me, like, I can't bother to slow the car down, then do the clutch and everything like that. When I come into the pits, when I do career mode races, obviously it's literally just for me to just like take that little time to just put my controller down and just relax for a few seconds, and then obviously I would carry on racing again. So for next episode, I'm turning off low braking assist, so it means I'll literally be racing with no assists. But obviously pit assist is still something. But yeah, technically in the race itself though, it'll be no assist. It's going to be a challenge for us. Going to have to learn new braking techniques as well, because I'm going to be locking up probably a lot. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care all. Peace.